What's up, everybody? It is Saturday, June 7th. It is the second day of the Final Fantasy release, and we picked up a bundle. I was not enough of a Final Fantasy nerd to feel like I needed to grab one of the limited spots for the pre-release at my local store. I did stop by and see the scene, really packed over there, lots of people playing, but I did want to participate in the release in some way, so I thought I'd grab a bundle and let's see what's in there. I'm excited. There's a few good cards in there for my equipment deck. There's a few good landfall things, so let's see what we happen to pull. Let's get into it. All right, so we're gonna tear open this bundle. Gonna see, I've got Sephiroth on there. Gonna get a really cool box. Yeah, we got lightning. We got the logo on the top. We got Sephiroth. Yeah, really cool thing here. And then also we got this little card here. Hell yeah. And then inside of the box, we've got one of these oversized spin downs. Oh, the little Moogle. That Moogle's really cute. I like this one. I got Moogle on. I wish they didn't do the thing where there's a symbol on both sides, but I think this is the 1, and then that's the 20 for Moog. So that is pretty cool. Nice opalescent thing there. And then we've got all these packs. We'll get into those in 1 second. Just look, got their usual sort of cardboard filler on the sides here. Got some tokens. The actual box itself is quite nice, though. I'll definitely have that on my shelf. And then inside we get 9 play boosters, as well as this. Then we get these 2 little packs here. So, excuse me. So let us see what is inside these little packs, and then we can get into the play boosters and stuff. So we'll start with this one, completely arbitrarily. So we got some full art lands. We got this plains. Ooh, love that with the little Seventh Heaven tavern action there. Got the open road. I have to admit, you'll see as I go through these cards, there are definitely several Final Fantasy games I've not played. As I said earlier, I'm not the hugest Final Fantasy fan. I played 7, I played Tactics, I played Tactics Advance, I played a bit of 8, 9, and 10. I've never fully beat a Final Fantasy game. I'm just not the type of person who likes to play a 60-hour JRPG, or 60 plus, or depending on, I guess, how long these different ones are. I'm just making up numbers. That's a really cool mountain. I like that one a lot. But I love the art style. Amano is, of course, a legend. Some of that early Final Fantasy concept art, some of that painterly and watercolory style, and some of the sketches, I love that art. And some of sort of the classic, as someone who works in game development and just is, a lifelong gamer, some of the most classic sort of gaming tropes started in Final Fantasy. Of course, it's had an incredible impact on the different... Oh yeah, I forgot this was a waste. I almost missed that. That's really cool. But yeah, I love a lot of the tropes and art of Final Fantasy. I'm not one of these super fans who's played every game, and so there's definitely going to be characters, so I'm going to be like, I don't know who that is. I'm going to say half of them, probably. But I also really like Magic the Gathering. Ooh. And so we're going to get a couple little sample collector booster cards here. So we got Locke here in the foil. That's pretty cool. As these are the first couple of cards I'm looking for this, I'm going to take a little bit longer just sort of looking at them. The foiling looks really nice. The image is very clear, which is sometimes a problem on foil, so I appreciate that. Got Death Touch Lifelink 2/3 for 3 and Demir. And whenever he deals combat damage to player, draw a card, then discard a card. Solid little dude there. Ooh, that is an amazing first couple of cards to look at in this bundle. So we've got Cloud Midgar Mercenary in the full art foil. That is dope. So this guy's probably going straight into my Boros equipment deck. So for those who are not familiar, when Cloud enters, search your library for an equipment card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. So he's a tutor. As long as he's equipped, if an ability of Cloud or an equipment attached to it triggers an additional time. So all of the swords of X and Y, there's a bunch of equipment that have triggers on attack. This is super dope. I am stoked off the bat to have pulled that. So we're off to a rollicking start here. And then I think we saw this in the Aether Drift bundle as well. We're probably going to see the same set of lands as the previous set, but this time in foil. And they are some gorgeous lands, so that's a nice little value there. I believe MSRP, this box is supposed to be 70 because of demand, because it was release day and everything. I did pay at my local game store 90 for it, which is a little bit of a markup, but I don't mind, sort of just for the excitement of participating in the opening weekend and supporting my local store. And the fact that there was a cloud in there in the sample thing. So far, not mad about that. We'll see how the rest of the packs go, but that is pretty cool. So now we're going to get to open 9 packs of Final Fantasy Play Boosters. All right, so now that we've gotten through those first couple of land packs and a little sampler, let's get into our first play booster of Final Fantasy. First pack I'm opening. I'm going to start just going front to back. I think that's how these are opened. We're going to start with a less valuable chocobo, but a cool chocobo, a Call of the Mountain chocobo. We're going to get both a mountain card and create a bird with the classic. So all the chocobos have this effect of sort of landfall, get +1/+0 until end of turn. And it has flashback. I'm not going to read all the cards. This is just the first card I saw, so I'll speed up as I go through here. But again, first time looking at any of these in person, so I'm excited. I don't even know how to pronounce this. A Katrub Fourier. It's a zombie horror. Gubu Gardener. Listen, it's a goofy world. Final Fantasy is goofy. I don't care. Like, it's cool. It's goofy. I love it, but this is a goofy set. I mean, we're going to, like, ride the Shoe Puff later, and we're going to... I don't know. Never mind. That's a mana dork. It's a 1/3 mana dork. We have a Scorpion Sentinel. Cool robot Scorpion. That's cool. Actually has the Scorpion type on it. Yeah. Then we have Summon Chocomog. Got Stampede for 4 turns on a 3/3. 3/3 for 3 that does Stampede. Pretty cool. Got Adventurer's Airship. Cool vehicle. When it attacks, you draw and discard. Try to not rotate so you get the... I think the CMC was cut off by glare there for a second. Vane's Treachery. Ooh, we got a full art. I don't know the set of these packs. I don't know if there's like one of these full arts in every pack or anything, or if this is at all guaranteed, but how do you even tell the rarity of these? Is this silver because it's an uncommon? Promise Fulfilled, it's Light Up the Stage, which is a card that I run in my Rakdos deck with is a pretty fun art. I think, personally, I'm going to run the in-universe one, but it's pretty cool for people who are fans of this game. Got Summon Esper Remu. Again, I'm not going to pronounce any of these right, or several of them. I am Remu, the Esper, or Remu. We'll see. People are feel free to be mad at me. He's a cool old wizard though. And what else we got? We got Zack Fair, Human Soldier. We got a lot of soldiers, understandably, in this set, so soldier decks might also be excited. You can sacrifice him to give someone indestructible, so he can sort of protect somebody, and then you can put any counters and equipment from Zack onto that creature. That's pretty cool. And then Clash of the... Again, I apologize in advance. The Icons. Choose one or more. Got to fight. Remove a lore from a saga. That's fun. Put a lore on for 1. That's pretty cool. And then that's pretty sick. So we have a couple of the most iconic characters from almost a lot of people's favorite Final Fantasy game, probably mine, Final Fantasy VII, side of that or Tactics. We got Tifa Lockhart, an absolutely insane landfall card, or potentially landfall commander. She goes hard. People have talked about how there are ways to get her to, like, in a standard format of, like, you know, a 20 life format, she can get to like lethal on like turn 2 or some nonsense with the right set of cards. But this is a very fast, high damage, aggressive. It's crazy that she got trample on her, but yeah, she is pretty good at taking care of herself, you know, as the flavor text says. But that is a dope open. And then a Mistian Elder in foil. It creates a little black wizard token when it enters. and it has the Black Wizard ability of whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent, or rather the token does. I was somewhat tempted. There's everyone's excited about Vivi. There's a black-red wizard commander that doubles the damage dealt from wizards, and I think that looks like a pretty fun commander as well. And then we have a beautiful foil full art island, and then this beautiful art card. So that is pack 1. Not too shabby. I'm super happy with, we're only 1 pack in, and already we have a foil full art Cloud, and we have a Tifa in the normal treatment. So let's go on to the next pack. Here we go. All of the prices for this stuff are insane right now. So I am under no delusions that I'm going to put up numbers on the screen as to what things are going for at the time of this opening weekend. It's all BS. We should not expect any of it to last at that price point into the future, but who knows? Who knows what happens? All right, we got more bird creation. Got a magic damper. We've got a Gaily cat. Look at this little baby. It's a flying cat. And we have summon GF Ifrit, which of course is the girlfriend Ifrit, as everyone knows. Ifrit is my girlfriend. We have Ariman, flying Death Touch 2/2 for 3, solid in limited. The best card in the set, obviously, Instant Ramen. It is heavily memed because of a very infamous product placement. I forget if it's in, I forget what number that it's in, but yeah, it's a food with flash, so it's an instant food, instant ramen. Thematic win, flavor win, I should say. A White Mage Staff. There's a cool wheel of equipments that also create a hero with the weapon attached to it, sort of nodding to the job system in Final Fantasy Tactics and some of the other games. We got Opera Love Song. It's a goofy ass series, my guy. We got the Poo Poo UFO, 0/4 for 2 flying construct alien. I'm surprised it's not a vehicle. It's flying. You can tap it to put a land card from your hand into the battlefield. Good. Until end of turn, this creature's base power becomes equal to the number of towns you control. I don't know how many people are actually going to play around with the town synergy mechanics. I'm sure somebody will, but there's probably combos here with landfall, untap creatures. I don't know what cards do that, but he seems interesting. Ooh, and here's one of those cards that would go in that red-black a wizard's deck. So we have Black Waltz number 3. So this is basically it's kind of like a double wizard. It does the same thing as all the other wizard tokens do, but it's whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. It's a flying Death Touch 2/2. I think it's really cool. And it's just like it's like the Pokemon evolution of the normal Black Mage, right? It's a little bigger, it gained flying, and it's sexy. Yeah, sweet, very cool. We have a side quest, Hunt the Mark. When it enters, destroy up to 1 target creature. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under an opponent's control this turn, create a treasure token. If you have 3 or more treasures, transform. That seems like a very easy thing to trigger. This costs 5 up front. What are we getting for our investment? Oh, no one look at that. No one look at that. We get Yazmat, Ultimate Mark. We get a 5/6 dragon. Doesn't have flying, but you can pay 2 and sacrifice another creature artifact to gain indestructible and tap it. Maybe. But what did we just get a little preview of? We have Rauban, Bull of Alamigo. Again, I apologize. Cool, is a human warrior. Has ward pay life equal to its power. Ooh, that could get expensive quickly. Maybe good also an equipment deck. Whenever it attacks, yep, absolutely. Attach up to 1 target equipment you control to target attacking creature. 2 for 2. This also might go in my equipment deck. Yeah, that is really solid. You were getting some good pickups, at least for me. Pickups that I wanted. Ooh, and then we have a Chocobo Kick in the foil. The foil looks really cool. It's got Kicker, as it should for a kick card. It's a fight ability, effectively, and if it's kicked, creature control deals twice, so it's a double. It doubles your power on the fight, effectively, if you kick it. And then another beautiful Chocobo, full art Chocobo forest. Cool. And then a hero token. And on the back, it is a treasure hero token. That is really cool. All right. Well, we've only gotten into a couple packs so far. We still have 7 more to go. I'm going to do a quick cut and I'm going to open the next one. I stretch my back. This is always shrimp mode for me when I'm recording. I need to because I record on a keyboard mat, so it's like a little bit low. So I'm always kind of like stretched over a little bit. So let me start back up in a minute. All right, we're moving right along, and we are doing our 3rd pack from the 9 packs from the bundle, and another nice treasure, probably another treasure hero token. Nice. And we're going to start with a rat, with rat tail. When it dies, create a treasure token. That's solid. Treasure tokens, I've heard, are pretty good. So we've got a dire rat. We've got a blitzball shot, the most goofy ass fictional game next to Quidditch. Ice flan, delicious. Got a Carl. I'm gonna say his name is Carl. Let's see. Tap target non-enchantment creature. Okay. Ooh, item shopkeep. The cards that are most like generic, like RPG trope are the ones I'm most drawn to. Like, it feels like it fits more in universe with, more easily with Magic the Gathering. It's just really relatable and fun. Cool. White Oracite. Laughing Mad. Yep. Listen, Kefka's a cool character. I have not played a ton of that game. I played like a little bit, and I bounce off of so many RPGs, but I love the aesthetic. He's a really cool character. Yeah, Laughing Mad is sick. Ooh, and then we got a little fire magic. So for 1, you either do 1 damage to each creature for 1, you can do 2 damage to each creature for 3, or for 6, you could deal 3 damage to each creature. Cool little modal spell with some really cute classic black mage art. Very cool. We got Snow Villiers. I'm going to struggle this whole set through. This is a legendary human rebel monk. He's got vigilance, and his power is equal to the number of creatures you control. So he goes in a go wide deck. Rydia, Summoner of Mist. Got a red-green legend with landfall. Discard, draw a card on landfall. Pretty good. It has a summon X, return saga card with mana value X from her graveyard to the battlefield with finality on it. That's pretty cool. That's a cool way of sort of getting double dipping on these saga creatures. Got Eject. Spell can't be countered. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, then draw a card. For 4 is a little bit expensive, but cool. Ooh, then we have a double-sided rare here. We got Venat, Heart of Hidaline. Whenever you cast a legendary spell, this is also a wizard, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Hero's Sundering, pay 7 and exile a non-land permanent. It's just target non-land permanent. It could be an opponent's, right? And then you transform it as a sorcery. And then we get, spoilers. The Mother Crystal is a god. It's an indestructible 4/4. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on another target creature you control until your next turn it gains indestructible. If it's legendary, draw a card. Okay. So this is the payoff. We get an indestructible 4/4 that is going to buff your other stuff and give you additional card draw. It's mono white. Really interesting. That ability seems so expensive, but I don't know. Interesting. And then in the foil we have an uncommon. We have Rydia's Return. A choose one modal ability. You can do two permanents from your graveyard to your hand, or +3/+3, which is both good, but at 5 is pretty expensive. And then we have a town. And we've got another, ooh, that's a really cool hero token. That art is sick, actually. I love all the techie stuff. The techie stuff is so cool. Love robots. All right, so that is pack, was that number 4? It's pack number 3. Is that correct? That can't be right, because then got 6 left. I guess that was pack number 3. All right, and then we'll hop into the next one. We'll start going a little bit quicker as we go through, especially as we start seeing duplicates like this Goo Boo Gardener. Let's skip him. Scorpion Sentinel, we've seen him. Carl, seen him. Call the Mountain Chocobo. Quitrub Forayer. We've seen all these before. We're getting familiar. Ooh. We get a tapped any color town. Okay. Laughin' Mad, really cool. Ooh, we got a really cool art, full art lightning bolt. Thrum of the Vestige. Yeah, very cool. Overkill, yep. Target creature gets plus 0 minus 9999 until end of turn. Goofy, very good, very fun though. Ooh, really cool character design. Freya Crescent, yeah. Rat Knight. I love the concept of a Rat Knight. So another equipment themed card. So this is a flying only during your turn, 1/1 for 1 that is a mana dork for equipping. Really cool. We have battle menu, amazing. And pick one. Toot, 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 toot. And then, oh, sorry. We got Zell. Again, apologies. Dinked. May play an additional land on each of your turns. Yes, please. Gets +1/+0 for each land you control. Yes, please. In your end step, return a land you control to its owner's hand. Fascinating. So again, really good in landfall. Doesn't develop you quite as fast, but lets you replay lands a lot. I can't decide if this guy is ideal in flubs or a bit of a problem. Sometimes in flubs you want to have two cards in hand at the end because you want to get to an odd number of cards on your next turn. So I think he could fix that pretty well. I can't decide. I think he's good, but I'm not sure if he makes the cut. But my flubs deck is pretty strong, so the bar is high. Ooh, then we have a foil Scorpion Sentinel. I got 3 Scorpion Sentinels so far. Then we got full art Swamp. And then an art card. Cool. All right, zooming. We're picking up speed here. I think the most, kind of understandably, the little sampler from the 2 collector cards, that cloud is going to be a hard excitement to beat, but we'll see what else we got in here. We got the Galley Cat. That's like an alley cat. Oh, the legendary train suplex. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Aw. We got a Namazu Trader. When he enters, you lose a life and create a treasure. 3/4 for 4. When he attacks, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, surveil 2. Okay. Prishy's Wanderings. Ooh, for 3, you get to fetch a basic or a town. Tapped. Then when you search, put +1/+1 counter on target creature. Okay, not bad, not bad. Cocoon Merchant. Oh, a little beast citizen. This little cutie. Look, he's got stuff for you. He's holding it up. He's like, here, look at this. So you can pay 1 to draw 1 discard card. 7. Sacrifice this creature, draw 3 cards. Cost 1 less to activate for each town you control. Okay, so again, another town synergy thing. So it's bad unless you have a bunch of towns, then it's okay. Alright, Vane's Treachery. Ooh, Adventure Inn. We have a untapped, gain 2 life, colorless little town. Not bad. We got a Phantom Train. It's a trample 4/4 for 4. It's a vehicle. Sacrifice another artifact or creature, put a +1/+1 counter on it. It becomes a spirit artifact creature in addition to its other types until end of turn. Also, notably, there is no crew cost on this train. The only way to make this train a creature, because it's a vehicle, is to sacrifice something. And it gets bigger when you do so. And it doesn't remove its vehicle type, and it doesn't have a limit. So theoretically, you could sack. It has trample, so you could sack a lot of things as a sack outlet and make this huge, and then have a trampling train, which I think is actually pretty solid. Ooh, we have Ring of Lucy. It is a soul ring that costs 4, but also lets you pay 2 and a life to tap a non-land permanent. Okay, not bad. Oh, we got Shantoto, the Tactician Magician. He's a dwarf wizard, and he's adorable. Actually, I'm not going to assume this creature's gender. I have no idea. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it gets +X/+O until end of turn, where X amount of mana spent to cast that spell. If X is 4 or more, draw a card. Pretty cool. This is, of course, not the legendary creature that everyone's excited about. That's Vivi, but pretty cute. Ooh, side quest. Catch a fish. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's an artifact or creature card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. You put a card into your hand this way, create a food, and transform this. So okay, I'm going to look at the next thing, then I'm going to look at the back. Oh, snap. That's pretty good. Again, I'll put the current price up for this baby. There's no way that price doesn't go down, but everyone and their mom is building this commander. Truly everybody. And I might make a Grixis wizard deck and include this. I'm enough of a hipster who gets in the way of my own joy that I kind of refuse to play VV like as my main commander, but we are certainly stoked to have that hit. First mythic, I think it's the only mythic we've seen so far, and it's a good one. That is dope. For people who are not familiar, this is a 0/3 for 3. You can pay 0, add X mana of any combination of blue and red, where X is its power. You can only do this once each, and only per turn, and only during your turn. But whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you put a +1/+1 counter, so permanent, on VV, and it deals 1 damage to each opponent. So it has that Black Mage ability. So how this goes is you basically, if you have a bunch of low cost like cantrips and stuff, you can kind of double dip. Also note that the mana that he generates doesn't have to be spent on non-creature spells. So you basically can be like, okay, I put this dude out, I play a bunch of also keep in mind that non-creature spells doesn't mean just sorceries and instants. Like, there's probably a stupid deck with Cheerios or something with a bunch of 0-cost artifacts where you put out VV and then you put out like an Ornithopter and some other shit, and then you just get 3 mana to ramp into something else, and also suddenly VV is a 3/6 like on the turn he came down. So he seems pretty darn strong. There's also, if you flicker him, you could theoretically do the 0-cost ability again, so there's probably going to be flicker decks built around him. He doesn't have white in him, so that's going to be a little harder. There's some good flicker effects on white, but there's also some in blue. Yeah, like you could do Deadeye Navigator with this. This is sick. I'm super happy to see it. Can immediately put him into a sleeve. But let's see, before we move on from that, what's on the other side of this fish card? We all care about that, don't we? It is a cooking campsite. It's a land. It taps for a white. You can pay 3 and you sacrifice an artifact, but +1/+1 counter on each creature you control as a sorcery. That's not bad. I like fish. I like this card. He's cute. All right, but obviously the big deal this pack is VV. And then we also have a foil rat. And, ooh, another town. We got a tapped red-black town. We got the Imperial Capital. Yo. No, I'm telling you, we're cooking a bit here. I'm going to take a quick break again to stretch my back and sort of clear out and rearrange all these cards I've opened so far, but we still have 4 packs to go. So let's get into it. All right, everybody. This bundle's been cooking. We got 4 packs left. We're about, I guess, a little over halfway through, especially if you include the lands and the little collector's sampler. But I've gotten some things that I'm really excited about. A lot of things I was hoping to see. So, yeah, we're having a good time. And let's continue Chocobo Kick. Dreams of, I was going to say lasagna, but it's Laguna. Ooh, yeah, the Magic Tech Infantry. The art is cool. That's so ominous. Like, just the repetition is so cool. The Robot Soldier. It gets +1/+1 as long as you control another artifact. Trivial. And then you can pay 3 to search for a card named this, put it into battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Unfortunately, this is not a play. If this was a play any number of card, this would go harder as a 1 cost, but still neat. We got an equipment. We got a Warrior Sword. This is another one of the job wheel equipments. Makes 1/1 and then attaches. And then the thing about all of the wheel of these is the actual equip cost for these is expensive. Like, these are rough to justify if you're going to actually spend the cost to equip them to something. I think most of them are pretty mid, but cool. Ooh, cornered by Black Mages. Hell yeah. I love this art. This obviously goes into that black-red or Grixis wizard deck. But yeah, target opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice, so they get to choose, but then you create a black wizard token. Whenever you catch a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 to each opponent. So it's like a little removal and you get one of these wizards. I just love the art so much. Like, it's so ominous. Look at these little goobers. I love them. All right. I got a white Arasite. Lunatic Pandora. What a phrase. Here, I'm gonna straighten my back a little bit and stop being a shrimp. I just don't want to get too far away from the microphone. Pardon me for a second. All right, this is better. My back will be more straight. Okay, so Lunatic Pandora, pay 2, surveil 1, pay 6, sacrifice it, destroy target. That is so expensive. Okay. Crystal's Chosen for 7. You create 4 heroes and then put +1/+1 counter on each creature control. I can see that being justified in some go wide decks. That's pretty cool. I also agree with some, Ilmeg Pixie, 2/1 flyer that surveils. I agree with some other people's criticism that I think that this would have been a great set to bring back the party mechanic with like mage, rogue, wizard, fighter, or whatever. Or cleric. Cleric is one of them. It's cleric, wizard, fighter, rogue. This would have been a perfect set to bring that mechanic back, but alas. Anyway, Pixie. We got Summon Fenrir. Oh, that's a cool dog. Cool Saga Wolf. So he's a 3/2 for 3, and then first you get a basic land. Then when you get a creature spell, it gets a +1/+1 counter. And then you draw a card if you control a creature with the highest power tribe for the greatest. This is a green big creatures thing. Like many of these sagas, kind of to justify them, you need ways of manipulating the saga counters, the lore counters, it feels like. Cool. Another side quest, card collection. That's what we do. We love doing that. When this enchantment enters, draw 3 cards and discard 2 cards for 4. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. At the beginning of your end step, if 8 or more cards are in your graveyard, not hard to do, transform this. All right, again, we're going to look at the next card, then we're going to see the back of this thing. Ooh, we got the Titan. So this is this is the rare enchantment saga, the saga creature. This is the one that Command Zone previewed, I believe. So this guy's really cool. So he's a 7/7 for 5. He does go away eventually, but he's reach trample. And then he's mill, so I might put him in my mill insect deck, possibly. We'll think about it. Then you return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. That's some good ramp in the right type of deck. It could be a lot of lands in a mill, in like a Grixis, in a Golgari deck. Until the end of turn, another target creature control gets trampled and +X, where X is the number of lands you control. And then sadly he perishes. I think he's good. I think he's pretty darn good. That's a really cool summon. Going back for a second. Aw, a magic card. It's a flying vehicle. It's a 4/4 crew 1 vehicle. That's pretty cute. But yeah, all right. So Summon Titan. Then we have a foil Ignis Scientia. This is Simic, Human Advisor. When he enters, you look at the top 6 cards of your library. You can put a land onto the battlefield tap and get rid of the rest. I have come up with a new recipe. And then for 3 in tap, you exile a card from a graveyard. If a creature is exiled, create a food. So he creates food for a little bit too much, if we're being honest. Okay, interesting. Costs a little too much to make that food. Expensive food. Ooh, we got an Airship Kingdom. So this is the Izzet tapped town. And we got another, the hero art is so cool. These hero creature tokens are just so dope. And then on the other side, we have a horror. Also really cool art. The tokens go hard in this set. The tokens are really cool. The art has been great. Awesome. All right, we got 3 more packs. Let's get through them. All right, what do we got? Okay. Hoop. Okay. We have a magic damper. Sorry, I sped past that a little bit too fast. This is a cost 1, +1/+1 hexproof and untap, which that's a pretty good trick. That's a pretty good combat trick, and also it's a very variable. I actually think it's a really good common. We got our good old girlfriend Ifrit. We got an Ahriman, a creepy little guy, eye horror. We got a Balam T-Rexor. Got Dinosaur, 6/6 for 6 trample. This probably goes insanely hard in limited. In the pre-release, I would be stoked to open a 6/6 trampler. Also gives you a little life cycle. Also force. Yeah, that's solid unlimited. Dragoon's Wyvern, 4 for 2/1 flyer. When he enters, create a hero. Cute. I'm curious what cards are on this set that are just like number of heroes you control type mechanics. Also, sorry, Blitzball is the silliest shit ever. Okay, 3 tap. It's a mana rock for 3. Goal! Sacrifice this artifact, draw 2 cards, activate only if an opponent was dealt combat damage by a legendary creature this turn, aka It got past the defenders. You made the goal. It's goofy as shit. I love it. Aw, got a Rabbit Scout. Let Rabbit deck enjoyers rejoice. 3/2 for 3. Whenever another creature control enters, gets +1/+1 until end of turn. With some heir apparent decks and others, that could be a lot of creatures. I find a way to give this guy trample, and it's not bad. And the art is adorable. We got a Samurai's Katana. I got job select, so we're creating a Samurai. Again, the equip cost is so high if you're actually equipping these without having a way of cheating around that. But +2/+2 trample and haste is not bad. We got restoration magic. This is another one of these modal. So either for 1, we're giving something hexproof and indestructible. For 1, that's great. Just a 1-drop like instant for hexproof and indestructible. Fantastic protection. And if you need a little something else, you can also spend 1 to gain 3 life if you just have the spare mana, which is all right, maybe. And then if you want to spend a total of 5 on this, permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible, you gain 6 life. A little pricey for the effect, but if you need to save your whole board, the modality of this, I think this is a great card. I think that's sick. That can really be a blowout in the face of like a board wipe. We got Titus, the Blitzball Star. If you just want to play goofy fantasy soccer in water, here you go. So 2/1, when an artifact you control enters, you put a counter on it. When it attacks, tap target creature opponent goes. So he gets past the defenders appropriately by tapping them down. Every blitzer knows when you got the ball, you gotta score. That's not what Titus sounds like, or Titus, your preference. But yeah, fair enough. Aw, side quest, raise a chocobo. So when it enters, you create a bird with that landfall effect we talked about earlier, +1/+1 until end of turn. And at the beginning of your first main phase, you control 4 more birds. Bird decks are just eating well in this release. Transform. Again, we're gonna go to the next card, and then we're gonna come back and see what the other side is when you succeed in your side quest. Ooh, we have a full art Darkness Crystal. So the Wheel of Crystals are pretty cool. People are debating about which ones are really strong, which ones are worth it, but the black one, let's see what we got. So for 4, we get the effect that I think all of them have. They make spells of their color cheaper to cast. And if a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, instead exile it. So this is really good graveyard hate. Reanimator decks hate this, and you gain 2 life. Then for 6, which is a little pricey, put target creature card exiled with it onto the battlefield tapped under your control with 2 additional +1/+1. I think it's good. I think it's really good. I don't remember. I mean, we'll have the number up there. I don't remember what this is going for right now. We'll see what it goes for in the long run. That is really cool. I think that is a sick pull. I'm going to finish the pack, and then we're going to find out about that Chocobo side quest. Oh, speaking of, it's Ambrosia Whiteheart, who's a Chocobo, a bird. It's a flash 2/2 for 2, and when she enters, you can return another permanent you control to its owner hand. Nice little protection ability, and has the bird landfall synergy, so that's a sweet little bird. And then we got a full art mountain, and then another cool hero token. And then, all right, so what was that side quest? So we're raising a Chocobo, and then when we finish raising it, we get the black Chocobo, the fastest Chocobo, as we all know. When this permanent transforms into black Chocobo, search your library for a land card, put it into the battlefield, tap, then shuffle, and then it has the same landfall effect. Ooh, no, it's sorry, this is better. When a land you control enters birds you control, get +1/+0 until end of turn. This is a great landfall bird deck. This feels like anyone who's making like a Chocobo deck feels like you're going to run the Chocobo side quest, because this is a good bird, and it feels very doable to get to 4 birds in a bird deck. So heck yeah, that's amazing. This is a good little pack. And put this in a sleeve for sure. But before we do that, we have to open 2 more packs. We've got 2 more packs to go. I've been very happy with this this bundle. I feel like we've gotten our value's worth. And we get another cute little bird token, which I am very happy about. Chocoball's all the way down. All right, more Blitzball. Let's go. Blitzball shot 2. Target creature is +3/+3 and trample. Heck yeah, that'll help you get the goal, get past the defenders. Okay. Combat tutorial, cute. Target player draws 2 cards, put +1/+1 creature on 1 target creature you control. Okay. Paladin's Arms, another one of the job select equipments. So this one is +2/+0, ward 1 and knight. Okay. Ooh, Sabo Tender. I think that this... Okay, so this is a straight... Well, not a straight upgrade. This feels like... So, for a while in Flubs, it was my main landfall commander. I was running a bunch of the landfall deal damage to each opponent cards. This one is sweet because he's cheaper than most of those. I forget if Spitfire Legag is 3. I feel like his stats are a little better, but this one has reach, which is something. But yeah, so if you were going for the ping landfall strategy, it's just good for there to be another one of those, because there's a couple of them in red. I think Velcut Expiration kind of works as one. It's not a creature, which actually makes it better. It also gives you card selection, or card draw. But yeah, really solid. I was hoping to get a Sabo Tender, so there is one. Excellent. Another one of those dire rats with the rat tail. White Mage's Staff. Magic Pot. Look at the guy in there. When this creature dies, create a treasure token. It's a 1/4 for 3. That's expensive. But there's probably some sort of combo with this guy with some sort of loop of like the reanimator stations or whatever they're called. There's probably something there, but on its base value, questionable, but maybe. Ooh, Gullif's Final Act. That art is gorgeous. Until end of turn, target creature gets +1/+0 and gains when this creature dies, but number +1/+1 counters equal to its power into one target creature. That's 6. So yeah, so if you're gonna have a creature die, I mean, I think the second part of this is the most, I mean, +1/+0 is whatever, but for 2, you can basically preserve all of those stats onto something else. Notably, for people who like memeing about this sort of thing, this combined with the Jumbo Cactor effectively makes one of your other creatures comically large. One might say roughly 10,000 power and toughness. So that's yep, that's pretty good. That's pretty funny. Look at this nerd. So the sort of road trip Final Fantasy, I didn't play it. I saw a friend playing it, but I don't love the aesthetic. It's a little uncanny and weird to me. But okay, as a human scout for 2/2, it's haste, selfie shot. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 4 mana was spent to cast it, create a treasure. Okay, buddy, you do you. All right, we got Capital City. We have another town. It taps for colorless. It's better than the other one because it has a second ability, which is it's a mana filter, effectively, and it also has cycling. That's a pretty good city, or a pretty good town. We have the Crystals Chosen again. Again, love the art. Really cool. I can see it getting some play. Ooh, and then we have Joshua, Phoenix Dominant. So we have a 3/4 for 3 here, good value. A Human Noble Wizard. When he enters, discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. So up to 2. So you could choose how much you're filtering when he enters. For 5, exile and then return him to the battlefield transformed. Activate as a sorcery. All right, we're going to check that in a second. I'm just going to see what the rest of the pack is. Good old foil Dreams of Lasagna. Okay, and then we got a foil planes. Very nice. And a really cool hero token. Okay, going back for a second. What is the other side? Of course, it's the Phoenix. Warden of Fire. So this flips into a saga. And the first 2 turns, so you got 4/4 flying lifelink, solid. And then for 2 turns, he just deals 2 damage to each opponent. Just get some damage in. So if you have decks that care about activate only if an opponent has taken damage, or based on the amount of damage opponents have taken, just guarantee some damage in there. Pretty solid. And then on the 3rd turn, you return any number of creature cards with total mana value 6 or less for graveyard to the battlefield, and then you flip him back. So if this lives for 3 turns, you have a lifelinking flyer 4/4, and then you get some recursion, and then you flip back into Joshua. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So I think that probably some people are gonna have fun building around this. I don't know if I need another. I try not to build too many decks with the same color identity. I think this one's intriguing. I think he's pretty cool, but nice. We're now going to get into the last pack. We've come near to the end of this journey of our first exposure, our bundle for the opening weekend for Final Fantasy. So let's get into it. What do we got? We have the Aerith Rescue Mission. Classic. Choose one. Take the elevator. Create 3/1/1 hero tokens. Again, I'm curious what cards have synergy on the number of heroes you have, because I want to know what the payoff is for these. Or take 59 flights of stairs, tap up to 3 target creatures, put a stun counter on one of them. Okay. And then we have a Blazing Bomb, also classic. We have 1/1 for 1. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 4 mana is spent to cast it, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Then you can blow it up to deal damage equals of its power to target creature as a sorcery. So this guy is great and totally synergizes thematically and mechanically with those wizard decks that we were talking about. Fight On. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. For 3, that's pretty good. Gishal Greens, another bird with the classic landfall ability, and it has flashback. So 2 for 2/2 effectively on a non-creature spell, which sometimes there's synergy. Got Cloudbound Moogle, got 5 for a 2/3 flyer. That's expensive, but when he enters, you put a +1/+ counter on target creature. So maybe, also cycling, but so maybe, you know, you have ways of flickering him or something, but that doesn't seem great. Another Laughing Mad. We almost have a full set. A really cool card. We have another Adventurer's Airship. Ooh, we got full art rare here. This is a reprint of Bruce-Tarl Boorish Herder. Sorry, am I pronouncing that right? This is, yeah, Bruce-Tarl. I'm not familiar with Bruce-Tarl. So it's 4 for a 3/3. It's a human ally. Whenever he enters or attacks, target creature control gains double strike and lifelink, and it has partner. I mean, so I think that art is amazing. Hugo Kupka. That is, I have to admit, I'm not familiar with the character. I apologize, but the art is gorgeous. That's really cool. Oh, and then we got not the big one, but we got a Cactuar. So we got a Cactuar. This is just a 1 for a 3/3 trample. Seems fair. Beginning your end step, if this creature didn't enter the battlefield, return it to its owner's hand. So basically you get one shot of Cactuaring unless you have ways of like you're, you know, ending your end step or something, but he's cute. Then we have Garnet, Princess of Alexandria. 2/2 for 2, human noble cleric lifelink. When she attacks, you may remove a lore counter from each of any number of sagas you control, and then get a +1/+1 counter on Garnet for each lore counter removed that way. For an uncommon, that's a pretty good saga commander. I mean, you're limited to white-green, but that's sick. I mean, certainly you might go into a like a Bombadil or like a 5-color or something, but that's not bad. Ooh, we got a big-ass cool robot. We got the Relentless X Adam 92, I pronounce it ATM 092. Robot Spider. This creature can't be blocked except by 3 or more creatures. 6/5 for 6. 8. Return this from the graveyard to the battlefield. Tap to the finality counter on it. Let's get the hell out of here. Amazing. The art is so cool. I love the giant robots in the Final Fantasy games. They're so cool. Ooh, and we have another rare saga. We have Summon Leviathan. So this is a 6/6 for 6. Ward 2. Wards are good. Return each creature that isn't a Kraken, Leviathan, Merfolk, Octopus, or Serpent to its owner's hand. So this might end up in my Marvo Deep Operative deck. So first step, do that. Second turn, until end of turn, whenever a Kraken, Leviathan, Merfolk, Octopus, or Serpent attacks, draw a card. So we got card draw on it for 2 turns. It's not bad. I mean, it's sort of like so at face value, it's not Whelming Wave. Maybe it's Whelming Wave. There's another board right, but I think for 4, which is it might be for 4 or 5. It's the same thing of return each creature. So it's the same thing as 1, and then for 1 or 2 more mana, you get a creature who is a Leviathan. So if you have anything triggering on those entering, you get something cool there, and then you have a couple card draw. That, and it's word 2. I think that goes in. I think that makes the cut. I'm probably making room for this in my Marvo deck. That's pretty cool. And then a foil Ahriman just smiling at us and saying, hey, we did it. Good for you. And then another town, this time the white-blue land, Nation of Scholars. And then nice little, this is the Final Fantasy 9 guy, right? Yeah. If I'm wrong, I'm just showing my ignorance. But yeah, it's been a while. Cool. And that is it. That is the full gamut of this this bundle we got. So, I mean, we got some cool, like let's talk about what we got here. We got a Tifa, we got a Vivi, we got a foil full art Cloud. We don't care about that. That's fine. We got a Leviathan. Somewhere around here we have our Colossus. We got a lot of really cool stuff. I don't know if this guy's worth anything. We'll check. But overall, I'm really happy with that. That was really exciting. That was super fun. That was, frankly, a good distraction. I'll probably upload this tomorrow, or we'll see. But for those who don't know, I live in Los Angeles. Currently, it's Saturday, June 7th. We've had a lot of federal activity, ICE activity in our city and other cities and towns across America. A lot of deportation happening. I feel like there's a lot of people who are scared right now. There's a lot of people who are actively protesting and making their opinions known to this administration, that they don't agree with the priorities of what the government is spending its money and energy on, and frankly terrorizing its own population with military equipment. So it's a scary time out there, and sometimes it can feel trivial to spend time looking at magic cards on the internet or opening magic packs while the world feels it's on fire. Find balance in your life, find support and community in the communities that you're a part of, and do help where you can, but also take care of yourself. Find joy where you can. Joy is important. And yep, I hope everyone stays safe, stays healthy. Hope you enjoy the new Magic set, and take care until next time. Cheers.